What if I told you that beneath the sun-drenched ruins of ancient Greece lie secrets so profound they've baffled historians for centuries? Picture this: a golden mask unearthed from a forgotten tomb whispers the name of a legendary king, but is it truly his? Or a clay disc etched with symbols no one can decipher, holding the key to a lost language. These aren't just relics of the past, they're gateways to mysteries that have been buried by time, waiting for us to uncover them. Today, we're diving into the shadows of history to explore 25 forgotten mysteries of ancient Greece. From cities swallowed by the sea to prophecies whispered by oracles in trances, these are the stories that have slipped through the cracks of time. Why do they matter? Because they remind us that even the greatest civilizations leave behind questions that challenge our understanding of the past. So, are you ready to step into the unknown, to unravel the secrets of a world that shaped ours in ways we're still discovering? Stick around, because by the end of this journey, you'll see ancient Greece in a whole new light, and who knows, you might just uncover a mystery that sparks your imagination like never before. Let's begin. Now, turning to the first mystery on our list, we find ourselves standing on the shores of the Gulf of Corinth, where the lost city of Helike once thrived. Imagine a bustling city, rich in culture and trade, suddenly vanishing beneath the waves in the year 373 BCE. According to ancient accounts, Helike was struck by a catastrophic earthquake, followed by a massive tsunami that swallowed the city whole. The disaster was so devastating that it left no trace of Helike above water, and for centuries its exact location remained a mystery. Helike wasn't just any city, it was a prominent center of worship dedicated to Poseidon, the god of the sea. Its sudden disappearance sent shockwaves through the ancient world, with some even interpreting it as divine punishment. But what really happened to Helike? Over the years, theories have ranged from natural disasters to the city sinking due to liquefaction of the soil. Modern archaeologists have been piecing together clues, and in the late 20th century, they began to uncover evidence of Helike's remains buried beneath layers of sediment. What makes Helike so captivating isn't just its dramatic end, but what it represents: a reminder of nature's power and the fragility of human civilization. The ongoing search for Helike continues to shed light on ancient Greek life, offering us a glimpse into a world that was both advanced and vulnerable. As we move forward, Helike stands as a testament to the enduring allure of the unknown, urging us to keep digging, both literally and figuratively, into the secrets of the past. Now, shifting our focus to the next mystery, we uncover the Antikythera Mechanism, a device so advanced for its time that it has been dubbed the world's first computer. Discovered in a shipwreck off the coast of the Greek island of Antikythera in the early 20th century, this intricate bronze mechanism has baffled historians and scientists alike. Dating back to around 100 BCE, the device is a complex assembly of gears and dials designed to predict astronomical positions and eclipses with astonishing accuracy. The purpose of the Antikythera Mechanism was nothing short of revolutionary. It wasn't just a tool for tracking celestial events, it was a sophisticated calendar capable of calculating the movements of the sun, moon, and even the 5 known planets at the time. The engineering behind it reveals a level of precision and knowledge that challenges our understanding of ancient Greek technology. How did they achieve such complexity without the tools we have today? The creators of this marvel remain a mystery. Some believe it was the work of the legendary inventor Archimedes, while others attribute it to a school of astronomers in Rhodes. What's even more puzzling is how such groundbreaking technology was lost for centuries, only to resurface in fragments. The Antikythera Mechanism raises questions about the extent of ancient knowledge and why it didn't continue to evolve in the centuries that followed. Today, researchers continue to study this enigmatic device, using modern technology like 3-dimensional imaging to unlock its secrets. each discovery brings us closer to understanding the brilliance of its creators and the world they inhabited. The Antikythera Mechanism isn't just a relic of the past, it's a testament to the ingenuity of ancient Greece and a reminder of how much we still have to learn from the mysteries they left behind. Now, as we journey deeper into the forgotten mysteries of ancient Greece, we turn our attention to the enigmatic Oracle of Delphi. Nestled on the slopes of Mount Parnassus, the Oracle was one of the most revered and mysterious institutions of the ancient world. At its heart was the Pythia, the high priestess who served as the mouthpiece of the god Apollo. Her prophecies, delivered in cryptic verses, shaped the decisions of kings, generals, and ordinary citizens alike. But how did this seemingly ordinary woman become the conduit for divine wisdom? The rituals surrounding the Pythia were as fascinating as they were mysterious. Before delivering her prophecies, she would undergo a series of purification rites, including bathing in the sacred Castalian spring and burning laurel leaves. Then, seated on a tripod above a chasm in the earth, she would enter a trance-like state, uttering words that were interpreted by priests and relayed to those seeking guidance. But what caused these trances? Modern research suggests that geological phenomena may hold the key. The temple at Delphi was built over a fault line, and gases like ethylene, known to induce altered states of consciousness, may have seeped into the chamber where the Pythia sat. This natural phenomenon could explain her otherworldly visions and the cryptic nature of her prophecies. The oracle's influence extended far beyond the spiritual realm. Kings and city-states would send lavish gifts and consult the Pythia before making major decisions, from waging wars to founding colonies. Her words carried immense political weight, and her prophecies often shaped the course of history. Yet, despite her power, the Pythia remained an enigma, her identity shrouded in secrecy. Who were these women chosen to serve as the oracle? What training did they undergo? And how did they navigate the immense responsibility of speaking for the gods? The Oracle of Delphi stands as a testament to the intersection of faith, science, and politics in ancient Greece. Its mysteries continue to captivate us, offering a glimpse into a world where the divine and the earthly were deeply intertwined. As we explore the secrets of the Pythia and the rituals that defined her role, we uncover not just the story of a single oracle, but the enduring allure of a civilization that sought answers in the unknown. With the whispers of the oracle still echoing in our minds, we now prepare to step into the labyrinth of another ancient mystery, one that has fascinated storytellers and archaeologists alike. The legend of the Minotaur and the labyrinth at Knossos awaits. Now, as we venture into the shadows of ancient Crete, we find ourselves standing at the threshold of one of the most enduring legends of ancient Greece, the Labyrinth of the Minotaur. This tale, woven into the fabric of Greek mythology, tells of a monstrous half-man, half-bull creature confined within a maze so intricate that escape seemed impossible. But was this labyrinth merely a myth, or could it have been inspired by a real place? The story begins with King Minos of Crete, who, according to legend, commissioned the brilliant architect Daedalus to construct the labyrinth to imprison the Minotaur, the offspring of his wife Pasiphae and a sacred bull. Every 9 years, Athens was forced to send 7 young men and 7 young women as tribute to be devoured by the beast. This grim cycle continued until the hero Theseus, with the help of Minos' daughter Ariadne, navigated the labyrinth, slew the Minotaur, and freed Athens from its gruesome obligation. But what of the labyrinth itself? Could such a structure have existed? The answer may lie in the ruins of the Palace of Knossos, a sprawling complex unearthed by archaeologist Sir Arthur Evans in the early 20th century. The palace, with its intricate network of rooms, corridors, and courtyards, bears a striking resemblance to the mythical labyrinth. Its layout is so complex that it's easy to imagine how ancient visitors might have felt lost within its walls, giving rise to the legend of an inescapable maze. The Palace of Knossos was not just a royal residence but a center of Minoan culture, art, and power. Its vibrant frescoes, advanced plumbing systems, and storied architecture suggest a highly sophisticated civilization. Yet, the connection between the palace and the Minotaur myth remains a subject of debate. Some scholars argue that the labyrinth was a symbolic representation of the palace's complexity, while others believe it may have been inspired by the bull-leaping rituals depicted in Minoan art, a practice that could have been misinterpreted by later Greek storytellers. The myth of the Minotaur and the labyrinth had a profound cultural impact on ancient Greece. It symbolized the struggle between order and chaos, civilization and savagery. The story of Theseus' triumph over the Minotaur became a metaphor for heroism, ingenuity, and the triumph of human will over monstrous forces. It also reflected the Greeks' fascination with the Minoan civilization, which they viewed as both awe-inspiring and enigmatic. As we unravel the threads of this ancient tale, we are reminded of the power of myth to shape our understanding of history. The Labyrinth of the Minotaur is more than just a story. It is a window into the fears, aspirations, and imagination of a civilization that continues to captivate us. With the echoes of the labyrinth still lingering, we now turn our gaze to another mystery, one etched in clay and shrouded in symbols. The Phaistos Disc awaits, its secrets as elusive as the Minotaur itself. Now, as we shift our focus from the labyrinth's twisting corridors, we encounter an artifact that has baffled scholars for over a century, the Phaistos Disc. Unearthed in 1908 at the ancient Minoan palace of Phaistos on the island of Crete, this clay disc is unlike anything else discovered from the ancient world. Covered on both sides with a spiral of stamped symbols, it stands as one of the most enigmatic relics of ancient Greece, its meaning and purpose still shrouded in mystery. The disc, roughly the size of a small plate, is inscribed with 45 unique symbols arranged in groups that seem to form words or phrases. These symbols, ranging from human figures and animals to abstract shapes, are pressed into the clay using individual stamps, a technique that suggests an early form of printing. But what do these symbols mean? Who created them, and why, despite decades of study, the Phaistos Disc remains undeciphered, its message locked away in a language or code that has yet to be cracked? One of the most intriguing aspects of the disc is its origin. Dating back to around 1700 BCE, it predates many other known writing systems of the ancient world. Some researchers believe it may represent a form of Minoan script, possibly a religious text, a hymn, or even a record of trade. Others speculate that it could be a game board, a calendar, or a piece of ancient art. The lack of similar artifacts makes it difficult to draw definitive conclusions, leaving the disc's purpose open to interpretation. Theories about the disc's creation are just as varied. Some suggest it was a local invention, a product of Minoan ingenuity. Others propose that it may have been brought to Crete from another civilization, perhaps as a diplomatic gift or a trade item. The fact that no other examples of this script have been found adds to the mystery, raising questions about whether it was a one-of-a-kind creation or part of a larger, now lost tradition. What makes the Phaistos Disc so captivating is not just its undeciphered symbols but also what it represents, a tantalizing glimpse into a world we are still striving to understand. It challenges our assumptions about ancient communication and creativity, reminding us that there are still secrets waiting to be uncovered. As we ponder the mysteries of the Phaistos Disc, we are reminded of the enduring allure of the unknown. Its symbols, silent yet full of potential meaning, invite us to imagine the stories they might tell. And with that, we turn our attention to another ancient enigma, the sudden and mysterious disappearance of the Minoan civilization, a story that may hold clues to the fate of the very culture that produced this remarkable artifact. Now, as we step away from the silent symbols of the Phaistos Disc, we find ourselves facing one of the most dramatic and puzzling events in ancient history, the sudden disappearance of the Minoan civilization. This advanced and vibrant culture, which thrived on the island of Crete for centuries, seemed to vanish almost overnight, leaving behind a legacy of art, architecture, and mystery that continues to captivate us today. The Minoans, known for their sprawling palaces, intricate frescoes, and sophisticated trade networks, were a dominant force in the Aegean world. Yet, around 1450 BC, their civilization experienced a rapid and catastrophic decline. What could have caused such a sudden collapse? Scholars have proposed several theories, each offering a glimpse into the possible fate of this remarkable culture. One of the most widely accepted explanations points to the massive volcanic eruption on the nearby island of Thera, modern-day Santorini. This eruption, one of the largest in recorded history, would have unleashed devastating tsunamis, earthquakes, and ash clouds, wreaking havoc on Crete and its surrounding regions. The destruction of ports, crops, and infrastructure could have crippled the Minoan economy and disrupted their way of life, leaving them vulnerable to further disasters. Another theory suggests that the Minoans fell victim to invasion, possibly by the Mycenaeans from mainland Greece. Archaeological evidence shows that around the time of the Minoan decline, Mycenaean influence began to appear on Crete, including the adoption of Linear B script, an early form of Greek. Some believe that the Mycenaeans may have taken advantage of the Minoans' weakened state, either through conquest or gradual assimilation, leading to the eventual disappearance of Minoan culture. Natural disasters and invasions aside, some researchers propose that internal factors may have played a role. Social unrest, economic instability, or even a series of smaller, localized disasters could have contributed to the civilization's downfall. The Minoans' reliance on maritime trade and their centralized palace economies may have made them particularly susceptible to disruptions, whether from external forces or internal decay. What makes the disappearance of the Minoans so intriguing is not just the suddenness of their decline, but also the enduring legacy they left behind. Their art, architecture, and innovations influenced later Greek civilizations, and their story serves as a reminder of the fragility of even the most advanced societies. The Minoans' fate raises profound questions about the resilience of human cultures in the face of natural and man-made challenges. As we reflect on the mysteries surrounding the Minoan collapse, we are reminded of the interconnectedness of history and the forces that shape it. Their story is a testament to the enduring allure of the past and the questions that continue to drive our search for answers. And with that, we turn our attention to another ancient enigma, the enduring mystery of the tomb of Alexander the Great, a tale of power, legacy, and the quest for immortality. Now, as we shift our gaze from the enigmatic collapse of the Minoans, we find ourselves drawn to another enduring mystery that has fascinated historians and treasure hunters alike, the final resting place of Alexander the Great. Alexander, one of history's most legendary conquerors, carved out an empire that stretched from Greece to India, yet the location of his tomb remains one of the greatest unsolved puzzles of the ancient world. After his untimely death in Babylon in 323 BC, Alexander's body became the subject of intense political and cultural significance. His generals, vying for control of his vast empire, understood that possessing his remains would lend legitimacy to their claims of succession. According to historical accounts, Alexander's body was initially embalmed and placed in a golden sarcophagus, intended to be transported to his homeland of Macedon. However, the journey took an unexpected turn when Ptolemy, one of his trusted generals, intercepted the funeral procession and brought the body to Egypt, where it was eventually interred in the city of Alexandria. For centuries, Alexander's tomb in Alexandria was a site of pilgrimage and reverence, visited by Roman emperors and dignitaries who sought to pay homage to the great conqueror. Yet, by the late Roman period, the tomb's location became increasingly obscure. Earthquakes, rising sea levels, and the shifting urban landscape of Alexandria may have contributed to its disappearance. Despite numerous searches over the centuries, no definitive evidence of the tomb has ever been found. Theories about its possible location abound. Some suggest it lies beneath the modern city of Alexandria, buried under layers of ancient ruins and modern construction. Others propose that it could be hidden in the Siwa oasis, a site Alexander visited early in his reign and held in high regard. There are even claims that the tomb was moved to a secret location to protect it from looting or destruction. What makes the search for Alexander's tomb so compelling is not just the historical significance of the man himself, but also the symbolic weight of his legacy. Alexander's tomb represents more than a physical resting place. It embodies the enduring power of his story and the mysteries that still surround one of history's most extraordinary figures. As we ponder the fate of Alexander's tomb, we are reminded of the fleeting nature of even the greatest empires and the stories that outlive them. And with that, we turn our attention to another ancient enigma, the Eleusinian Mysteries, a secretive religious cult that held profound significance in the ancient world. Now, as we step into the shadows of ancient Greek spirituality, we encounter one of the most enigmatic and influential religious practices of the ancient world, the Eleusinian Mysteries. This secretive cult, dedicated to the goddesses Demeter and Persephone, held a central place in Greek religious life for over 1,000 years. Yet, despite its profound impact, much about the Eleusinian Mysteries remains shrouded in secrecy, making it one of history's most tantalizing puzzles. The mysteries were centered around the myth of Demeter, the goddess of agriculture, and her daughter Persephone, who was abducted by Hades, the god of the underworld. According to the story, Demeter's grief over her daughter's disappearance caused the earth to become barren, leading to famine and despair. Eventually, a compromise was reached. Persephone would spend part of the year in the underworld and the rest with her mother, symbolizing the cycle of the seasons and the renewal of life. This myth formed the core of the Eleusinian Mysteries, which celebrated themes of death, rebirth, and the promise of eternal life. The rituals of the Eleusinian Mysteries were held annually in the town of Eleusis near Athens. Initiates who came from all walks of life, slaves, citizens, and even emperors, underwent a series of ceremonies that were said to reveal profound truths about life and the afterlife. The exact nature of these rituals remains a mystery, as initiates were sworn to secrecy under penalty of death. What we do know is that the process began with a purification ceremony, followed by a sacred procession from Athens to Eleusis. Once there, participants engaged in fasting, sacrifices, and the consumption of a sacred drink called kykeon, which some scholars believe may have had hallucinogenic properties. The climax of the mysteries was the revelation of sacred objects and the enactment of the myth of Demeter and Persephone. This experience was said to bring about a profound spiritual transformation, offering initiates a glimpse of the divine and the assurance of a blessed afterlife. The power of these rituals was so great that they attracted some of the most prominent figures of the ancient world, including philosophers like Plato and statesmen like Cicero. Despite their widespread influence, the Eleusinian Mysteries left behind few written records. The secrecy surrounding the rites, combined with the destruction of the sanctuary by Christian authorities in the 4th century CE, has left historians with only fragments of information. What little we know comes from scattered references in ancient texts and archaeological evidence from the site of Eleusis. This lack of concrete knowledge has only added to the allure of the mysteries, making them a subject of endless fascination and speculation. The enduring appeal of the Eleusinian Mysteries lies not just in their secrecy, but in their universal themes of hope, renewal, and the human quest for meaning. They remind us that even in the face of life's greatest uncertainties, there is always the promise of rebirth and the possibility of transcendence. And with that, we turn our attention to another ancient enigma, the lost treasure of Croesus, a tale of wealth, power, and the fleeting nature of fortune. Now, as we shift our gaze from the spiritual mysteries of Eleusis to the glittering allure of ancient wealth, we encounter the legendary tale of Croesus, the fabulously wealthy king of Lydia. Known as one of the richest men in history, Croesus ruled over a kingdom that thrived on gold-rich rivers and a booming trade network. His name became synonymous with wealth, giving rise to the phrase, "as rich as Croesus." Yet, despite his immense fortune, the fate of his treasures remains one of the great unsolved mysteries of the ancient world. Croesus ascended to the throne of Lydia in the 6th century BCE, inheriting a kingdom already renowned for its prosperity. His wealth was not just a matter of legend, it was grounded in reality. The rivers of Lydia, particularly the Pactolus, were said to carry gold dust, which the Lydians used to mint some of the first standardized gold coins in history. This innovation revolutionized trade and cemented Lydia's place as a dominant economic power. Croesus used his wealth to build grand temples, fund lavish festivals, and forge alliances with neighboring states. His riches were so vast that even the Oracle of Delphi, when consulted about his fate, famously declared that if Croesus crossed the Halys River, he would destroy a great empire, a prophecy that would later take on a tragic irony. But what happened to Croesus's treasure? According to historical accounts, his reign came to a dramatic end when he was defeated by the Persian king Cyrus the Great. The details of this event are shrouded in conflicting stories. Some sources claim that Croesus was captured and his treasures seized by the Persians. Others suggest that he managed to hide a significant portion of his wealth before his downfall. The Greek historian Herodotus recounts a tale in which Croesus, facing defeat, built a massive funeral pyre and intended to burn himself and his treasures rather than let them fall into enemy hands. However, the gods intervened and Croesus was spared, leaving the fate of his riches unresolved. The mystery deepens when we consider the possible locations of Croesus's lost treasure. Some believe it was buried in the ancient city of Sardis, the capital of Lydia, where archaeological excavations have uncovered remnants of its once great wealth. Others speculate that the treasure was dispersed across the Persian Empire, hidden in secret vaults or melted down to fund Cyrus's campaigns. There are even theories that Croesus's gold found its way to distant lands, carried by traders or looters over centuries. Despite numerous searches and tantalizing clues, no definitive trace of the treasure has ever been found. What makes the legend of Croesus's treasure so enduring is not just the allure of unimaginable wealth, but also the human story behind it. Croesus's rise and fall serve as a timeless reminder of the fleeting nature of fortune and the hubris that often accompanies great power. His treasures, whether lost or hidden, symbolize the impermanence of material wealth and the enduring quest for something more, a theme that resonates across cultures and centuries. As we leave the glittering enigma of Croesus's treasure behind, we turn our attention to another marvel of the ancient world. The Colossus of Rhodes, a towering statue that once stood as a testament to human ingenuity and ambition. Now, as we step into the realm of ancient engineering marvels, we encounter the awe-inspiring Colossus of Rhodes, a towering statue that once stood as a symbol of resilience and human ambition. This massive bronze figure, dedicated to the sun god Helios, was not only a testament to the artistic and technical prowess of the ancient Greeks, but also one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Its story, however, is as much about its grandeur as it is about its mysterious fate. The Colossus of Rhodes was constructed in the early 3rd century BC to commemorate the island's victory over the invading forces of Demetrius the Besieger. The Rhodians, determined to honor their patron god Helios, commissioned the sculptor Chairs of Lindos to create a statue of unparalleled scale. Standing at an estimated height of 108 feet, roughly the size of the Statue of Liberty, the Colossus was a feat of engineering that took 12 years to complete. Its bronze plates were carefully molded and assembled over an iron framework, a technique that showcased the ingenuity of its creators. For decades, the statue stood proudly at the entrance of Rhodes Harbor, its gleaming form visible to ships approaching from afar. Yet the Colossus's reign as a wonder of the world was tragically short-lived. In 226 BCE, a devastating earthquake struck Rhodes, toppling the massive statue and reducing it to ruins. According to historical accounts, the Colossus broke at the knees and collapsed, leaving its remains scattered across the harbor. The Rhodians, despite their reverence for the statue, chose not to rebuild it as an oracle had warned against doing so. For centuries, the broken pieces of the Colossus lay where they fell, becoming a haunting reminder of the impermanence of even the greatest human achievements. The mystery surrounding the Colossus of Rhodes extends beyond its destruction. One of the most debated aspects is its exact location and appearance. Popular depictions often show the statue straddling the harbor entrance with ships passing beneath its legs. However, modern scholars argue that this image is likely a romanticized interpretation. Given the statue's immense size and the engineering limitations of the time, it is more plausible that the Colossus stood on a pedestal near the harbor rather than spanning its entrance. Archaeological evidence has yet to provide a definitive answer, leaving its true stance a subject of speculation. Equally intriguing is the question of what happened to the remains of the Colossus. After lying in ruins for nearly 900 years, the bronze fragments were reportedly sold to a Syrian merchant in the 7th century CE. According to legend, it took 900 camels to transport the metal scraps, which were then melted down and repurposed. This act marked the final chapter in the story of the Colossus, but its legacy endures as a symbol of human creativity and the fleeting nature of glory. As we reflect on the Colossus of Rhodes, we are reminded of the extraordinary achievements of the ancient world and the mysteries that still surround them. Its story invites us to marvel at the ingenuity of its creators while pondering the lessons it holds about resilience, ambition, and the passage of time. With this monumental wonder behind us, we now turn our attention to another enigmatic chapter in ancient Greek history, the sudden collapse of the Mycenaean civilization. Now, as we shift our gaze to the twilight of one of ancient Greece's most powerful civilizations, we uncover the enigmatic collapse of the Mycenaeans. Around 1200 BCE, this advanced society, known for its grand palaces, intricate art, and formidable warriors, experienced a sudden and dramatic decline. The Mycenaean civilization, which had thrived for centuries, seemingly vanished almost overnight, leaving behind a trail of ruins and unanswered questions. One of the leading theories behind the Mycenaean collapse points to a wave of invasions by mysterious groups often referred to as the Sea Peoples. These seafaring raiders are believed to have swept across the eastern Mediterranean, destabilizing entire regions. While the exact identity of the Sea Peoples remains unclear, their impact on the Mycenaean world was profound. Archaeological evidence suggests widespread destruction of Mycenaean cities, with many palaces and settlements burned to the ground. The once thriving centers of power, such as Mycenae and Pylos, were reduced to ashes, marking the end of an era. Another compelling theory revolves around natural disasters. The Late Bronze Age was a period of significant climatic upheaval, with evidence pointing to prolonged droughts and earthquakes. These environmental challenges would have placed immense strain on the Mycenaean economy, which relied heavily on agriculture. Crop failures, food shortages, and the resulting social unrest could have weakened the civilization, making it vulnerable to external threats. Some scholars even suggest that a combination of natural disasters and invasions created a perfect storm, hastening the Mycenaean downfall. Internal strife is also considered a potential factor in the collapse. The Mycenaean world was a complex network of independent city-states, each ruled by a warrior king. Over time, competition for resources and power may have led to conflicts between these city-states, fracturing the unity of the civilization. Evidence of fortified walls and defensive structures indicates that the Mycenaeans were no strangers to warfare, but internal divisions could have left them ill-prepared to face external threats. The breakdown of trade networks and the loss of centralized authority further exacerbated the decline, plunging the region into a period of chaos and instability. The aftermath of the Mycenaean collapse was a stark contrast to the civilization's former glory. The once thriving palaces lay in ruins, and the intricate writing system known as Linear B fell into disuse, plunging Greece into a so-called Dark Age. This period, lasting several centuries, saw a significant decline in population, technology, and cultural achievements. The Mycenaean legacy, however, endured in the form of myths and legends, with figures like Agamemnon and the Trojan War becoming immortalized in later Greek literature. As we piece together the fragments of this ancient mystery, we are reminded of the fragility of even the most powerful civilizations. The Mycenaean collapse serves as a poignant reminder of how interconnected factors, be they environmental, social, or external, can shape the destiny of a society. With this chapter of ancient history behind us, we now turn our attention to another haunting tale, the curse of Agamemnon's tomb and the eerie stories that surround it. Now, as we step into the shadowy realm of myth and misfortune, we encounter the chilling legend of Agamemnon's tomb. This ancient burial site, steeped in tales of curses and tragedy, has long captured the imagination of historians and storytellers alike. The story begins in the late 19th century when German archaeologist Heinrich Schliemann, already famous for his discovery of Troy, turned his attention to the ancient city of Mycenae. It was here, beneath the imposing Lion Gate, that Schliemann uncovered a series of shaft graves, one of which he boldly declared to be the final resting place of the legendary King Agamemnon. The tomb itself was a treasure trove of artifacts, offering a glimpse into the opulence of Mycenaean royalty. Among the finds were intricately crafted gold masks, jewelry, weapons, and pottery, all testifying to the wealth and sophistication of the civilization. The most famous of these artifacts was a gold funeral mask, which Schliemann famously proclaimed to be the Mask of Agamemnon. While modern scholars debate its authenticity and connection to the mythical king, the mask remains an iconic symbol of Mycenaean culture. But the discovery of the tomb was not without its dark undertones. Almost immediately, whispers of a curse began to circulate. According to legend, disturbing the resting place of Agamemnon would bring misfortune upon those who dared to trespass. Schliemann himself faced accusations of mishandling the excavation, and some claimed that his later years were marked by professional setbacks and personal tragedies. Whether these events were mere coincidence or the result of an ancient curse remains a topic of speculation. The eerie stories surrounding the tomb extend beyond Schliemann. Over the years, others involved in the excavation or study of the site have reported strange occurrences and unexplained misfortunes. Some have spoken of sudden illnesses, accidents, or financial ruin, all seemingly linked to their connection to the tomb. While skeptics dismiss these tales as superstition, the persistence of such stories adds an air of mystery to Agamemnon's final resting place. The legend of the curse also ties into the broader mythos of Agamemnon himself. In Greek mythology, Agamemnon was a tragic figure, a king whose return from the Trojan War ended in betrayal and murder at the hands of his wife, Clytemnestra, and her lover, Aegisthus. His death, steeped in themes of vengeance and divine retribution, has long been a source of fascination. The idea that his tomb might carry a lingering curse seems almost fitting, a final echo of the turmoil that defined his life. As we reflect on the tale of Agamemnon's tomb, we are reminded of the enduring power of myth and the human fascination with the unknown. Whether the curse is real or simply a product of our collective imagination, it serves as a reminder of the mysteries that still lie buried beneath the sands of time. And with this haunting chapter behind us, we now turn our attention to another enigmatic figure from ancient Greece, the lost works of Sappho, whose poetry continues to captivate and inspire. Now, as we shift our gaze from the shadowy depths of Agamemnon's tomb, we find ourselves drawn to the luminous legacy of Sappho, one of the most celebrated poets of ancient Greece. Known as the 10th Muse, Sappho's lyrical verses have captivated readers for centuries, yet much of her work remains shrouded in mystery. Born on the island of Lesbos around 630 BCE, Sappho was a trailblazer in her time, crafting poems that explored themes of love, desire, and the human experience with unparalleled grace and emotion. Her influence was so profound that she was revered not only in her lifetime but for generations to come, with her works studied and admired across the ancient world. Yet, despite her fame, the majority of Sappho's poetry has been lost to time. Of the estimated 9 volumes she composed, only fragments survive, scattered across papyrus scraps, pottery shards, and quotations by later writers. These fragments, though brief, offer tantalizing glimpses into her genius. Lines like "You burn me" and "I desire and I yearn" resonate with raw, timeless emotion, showcasing her ability to capture the complexities of the human heart in just a few words. Scholars have painstakingly pieced together these fragments, attempting to reconstruct the lost masterpieces that once defined her legacy. The mystery of Sappho's lost works is further deepened by the circumstances of their disappearance. Some attribute the loss to the passage of time and the fragility of ancient manuscripts, while others point to deliberate destruction by later cultures that disapproved of her themes, particularly her candid expressions of love between women. Whatever the cause, the loss of her poetry represents a profound cultural tragedy, robbing the world of some of the most exquisite verses ever written. Despite these challenges, modern efforts to recover and understand Sappho's work continue to inspire. Advances in technology, such as multispectral imaging, have allowed researchers to uncover previously illegible texts, revealing new fragments of her poetry. Each discovery brings us closer to understanding the full scope of her artistry and the world she inhabited. Scholars and poets alike remain captivated by her voice, striving to fill in the gaps left by history and to honor her contributions to literature. Sappho's influence extends far beyond the fragments that survive. Her innovative use of the lyric form, her intimate portrayal of emotion, and her unapologetic exploration of love have left an indelible mark on poetry and art. From the Renaissance to the modern era, her work has inspired countless writers, from Ovid to Virginia Woolf, who have sought to capture the same depth of feeling and beauty in their own creations. As we reflect on the enigma of Sappho's lost works, we are reminded of the fragility of human achievement and the enduring power of art to transcend time. Though much of her poetry remains hidden, the fragments that survive continue to illuminate the brilliance of her voice, offering a window into the soul of one of history's greatest poets. And with this exploration of Sappho's legacy behind us, we now turn to another intriguing mystery: the secret of the Sacred Band of Thebes, an elite military unit whose story is as fascinating as it is enigmatic. Now, as we step into the shadows of ancient battlefields, we uncover the story of the Sacred Band of Thebes, an elite military unit unlike any other in history. Composed of 150 pairs of male lovers, this formidable force was built on the belief that bonds of love and loyalty could create an unbreakable fighting spirit. Formed in the 4th century BCE, the Sacred Band became legendary for their unmatched courage and discipline, earning a reputation as one of the most effective fighting units of their time. The concept behind the Sacred Band was as innovative as it was daring. The Theban general Gorgidas, who founded the unit, believed that soldiers fighting alongside their beloved would be more motivated to protect one another and less likely to retreat in the face of danger. This unique approach to warfare proved devastatingly effective. The Sacred Band played a pivotal role in Thebes' rise to power, most notably in the Battle of Leuctra in 371 BCE, where they helped secure a decisive victory against the previously dominant Spartans. Their success on the battlefield was a testament to the strength of their bonds and their unwavering commitment to each other. Yet, despite their legendary prowess, the ultimate fate of the Sacred Band remains shrouded in mystery. Historical accounts suggest that the unit met its end in 338 BC during the Battle of Coronea, where they faced the forces of Philip II of Macedon and his son, Alexander the Great. According to the ancient historian Plutarch, the sacred band fought valiantly to the last man, refusing to surrender even when defeat was inevitable. Their bodies were said to have been found lying side by side, a poignant testament to their loyalty and love. The story of the sacred band raises intriguing questions about the nature of their relationships and the societal norms of ancient Greece. While same-sex relationships were not uncommon in Greek society, the sacred band's explicit pairing of lovers for military purposes was unprecedented. Some scholars argue that their relationships were primarily platonic, rooted in deep camaraderie rather than romantic love. Others suggest that their bonds were indeed romantic, challenging modern perceptions of ancient Greek attitudes toward same-sex relationships. This ambiguity adds another layer of intrigue to their legacy. The sacred band's influence extended far beyond their military achievements. Their story has inspired countless works of art, literature, and philosophy, serving as a symbol of the power of love and loyalty in the face of adversity. Yet their disappearance from history remains a mystery. Why were they not mentioned in later records? Did their defeat at Chaeronea mark the end of their legacy, or were there other factors at play? These questions continue to captivate historians and enthusiasts alike, keeping the memory of the sacred band alive. As we reflect on the enigma of the sacred band of Thebes, we are reminded of the enduring power of human connection, even in the most unlikely of places. Their story challenges us to reconsider the boundaries of love, loyalty, and courage, offering a glimpse into a world where the bonds between individuals could shape the course of history. And with this exploration of their legacy behind us, we now turn to another captivating mystery, the riddle of the Sphinx, a creature whose story has fascinated humanity for millennia. Now, as we venture into the realm of myth and mystery, we encounter one of the most iconic figures of ancient lore, the Sphinx. This enigmatic creature, with the body of a lion and the head of a human, has captivated imaginations for centuries, its origins deeply intertwined with the myths of ancient Greece. While the Great Sphinx of Giza is perhaps the most famous, the Greek Sphinx holds its own unique place in history, embodying both terror and wisdom in equal measure. The Greek Sphinx is most famously associated with the city of Thebes, where it is said to have terrorized the population by posing a riddle to all who passed by. Those who failed to answer correctly met a grim fate, devoured by the creature. The riddle itself has become legendary. What walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs at noon, and 3 legs in the evening? The answer, as many know, is man crawling as a baby, walking upright in adulthood, and using a cane in old age. This riddle, simple yet profound, has been interpreted as a metaphor for the stages of human life, a reflection on mortality and the inevitability of change. But the Sphinx is more than just a riddler. It is a symbol of mystery, power, and the unknown. In Greek mythology, the Sphinx was often depicted as a guardian of sacred spaces, a being that tested the worthiness of those who sought to pass. Its hybrid form, combining human intelligence with animal strength, represents the duality of nature and the balance between instinct and reason. This duality has made the Sphinx a recurring motif in art, literature, and philosophy, serving as a reminder of the complexities of existence. The story of the Sphinx is also deeply connected to the myth of Oedipus, the tragic hero who solved the riddle and freed Thebes from the creature's tyranny. Oedipus' victory over the Sphinx is often seen as a triumph of human intellect over primal chaos, a theme that resonates throughout Greek mythology. Yet his story is also one of irony and tragedy, as his success sets him on a path toward his own downfall. This interplay between triumph and tragedy adds layers of meaning to the Sphinx's role in Greek culture, making it a symbol not only of mystery but also of the unpredictable nature of fate. The cultural significance of the Sphinx extends far beyond its mythological roots. In ancient Greece, the Sphinx was often used as a decorative motif in architecture, appearing on temples, tombs, and other sacred structures. Its image served as a protective emblem, warding off evil and ensuring the sanctity of the spaces it guarded. Even today, the Sphinx continues to inspire, appearing in modern literature, film, and art as a symbol of enigma and challenge. As we reflect on the riddle of the Sphinx, we are reminded of the enduring power of myth to explore the deepest questions of human existence. The Sphinx challenges us to confront the unknown, to seek answers in the face of uncertainty, and to recognize the complexities of our own nature. And with this exploration of the Sphinx behind us, we now turn to another captivating mystery: the volcanic eruption that destroyed the island of Thera and its connection to the myth of Atlantis. Now, as we shift our gaze to the Aegean Sea, we uncover the haunting mystery of the lost island of Thera, a cataclysmic event that reshaped the ancient world. Thera, known today as Santorini, was once a thriving center of Minoan civilization, a beacon of culture and trade in the Bronze Age. But around 3,600 years ago, a volcanic eruption of unimaginable scale tore the island apart, burying its cities under layers of ash and plunging the region into chaos. This eruption, one of the largest in recorded history, not only obliterated Thera but also sent shockwaves through the Mediterranean, leaving behind a legacy of destruction and intrigue. The sheer force of the eruption was staggering. It is estimated that the explosion was 4 times more powerful than the infamous Krakatoa eruption of 1883, sending plumes of ash and pumice high into the atmosphere. The resulting tsunami, with waves reaching heights of up to 150 feet, devastated coastal settlements across the Aegean, including those on Crete, the heart of Minoan civilization. The once flourishing Minoan cities, with their advanced architecture and vibrant frescoes, were left in ruins, their people scattered and their culture forever altered. But the story of Thera is not just one of destruction, it is also a tale of mystery and speculation. Some scholars believe that the eruption of Thera may have inspired the myth of Atlantis, the legendary island civilization described by Plato as sinking into the sea in a single day and night of misfortune. The parallels between the fate of Thera and the story of Atlantis are striking. Both were advanced societies that met a sudden, catastrophic end. Could Thera be the real-life Atlantis, its story passed down through generations and transformed into myth? While the connection remains debated, the idea continues to captivate historians and enthusiasts alike. The archaeological remains of Thera offer tantalizing clues about its past. Excavations at Akrotiri, a Minoan settlement on the island, have revealed a city frozen in time, preserved under layers of volcanic ash. The intricate frescoes, multi-story buildings, and advanced drainage systems speak to a sophisticated society, one that thrived before disaster struck. Yet, despite these discoveries, many questions remain unanswered. What caused the eruption? How did the Minoans respond to the crisis? And what became of the survivors? The impact of Thera's destruction extended far beyond the island itself. The eruption marked the beginning of the end for the Minoan civilization, which had dominated the Aegean for centuries. The loss of their trade networks, combined with the environmental devastation, left the Minoans vulnerable to invasion and decline. By the time the Mycenaeans rose to power, the Minoan world had faded into legend, its achievements overshadowed by the cataclysm that brought it down. As we piece together the fragments of Thera's story, we are reminded of the fragility of human civilization in the face of nature's power. The eruption of Thera serves as a stark reminder of the forces that shape our world, forces that can both create and destroy. And as we ponder the mysteries of this lost island, we are left to wonder, what other secrets lie buried beneath the waves, waiting to be uncovered? With this question in mind, we now turn to another enigmatic artifact of ancient Greece, the Mask of Agamemnon, a golden relic shrouded in controversy and intrigue. Now, as we step into the shadows of Mycenaean history, we encounter the enigmatic Mask of Agamemnon, a golden relic that has sparked both awe and controversy since its discovery. Unearthed in 1876 by the renowned archaeologist Heinrich Schliemann, the mask was found in a royal burial site at Mycenae, a city steeped in myth and legend. Schliemann, convinced he had discovered the tomb of the legendary King Agamemnon, famously declared, "I have gazed upon the face of Agamemnon, but was this truly the face of the Homeric hero, or was it something else entirely?" The mask itself is a masterpiece of ancient craftsmanship, made of hammered gold and featuring intricate details that suggest a high level of artistry. Its serene expression, with closed eyes and a faint smile, has captivated historians and art enthusiasts alike. Yet, almost immediately after its discovery, questions arose about its authenticity. Some scholars argue that the mask is too stylistically advanced for its supposed time period, suggesting it may have been altered or even fabricated to fit Schliemann's narrative. Others point to the lack of similar artifacts from the same era, raising doubts about its origins. The debate continues to this day with no definitive answers in sight. Beyond the controversy, the Mask of Agamemnon holds immense significance for our understanding of Mycenaean culture. If authentic, it offers a rare glimpse into the funerary practices and artistic achievements of this ancient civilization. The Mycenaeans, known for their warrior culture and monumental architecture, left behind a legacy that has fascinated historians for centuries. The mask, with its regal bearing and meticulous craftsmanship, suggests a society that valued both power and beauty, blending the practical with the symbolic in ways that continue to intrigue us. The discovery of the mask also sheds light on the broader context of Mycenaean burial customs. The graves at Mycenae, known as Grave Circle A, contained not only the mask but also a wealth of other treasures, including weapons, jewelry, and pottery. These findings paint a picture of a society that honored its elite with elaborate burial rites, perhaps believing in an afterlife where such riches would accompany them. The mask, in this sense, becomes more than just an artifact. It is a window into the beliefs and values of a civilization long gone. Yet, the mystery of the Mask of Agamemnon persists. Was it truly crafted for a Mycenaean king, or is it a later creation, perhaps even a product of Schliemann's own imagination? The lack of conclusive evidence leaves room for speculation, fueling the allure of this ancient enigma. As we ponder its origins, we are reminded of the complexities of archaeology, where every discovery brings new questions and challenges our understanding of the past. With the Mask of Agamemnon still shrouded in mystery, we now turn our attention to another shadowy aspect of ancient Greek history, the secretive practices of the Spartan Krypteia, a group of young warriors whose actions remain as controversial as they are fascinating. Now, as we delve into the shadows of Spartan society, we uncover the enigmatic practices of the Spartan Krypteia, a secretive group of young warriors whose actions remain as controversial as they are fascinating. The Krypteia, often described as a rite of passage for elite Spartan youths, was a clandestine institution shrouded in mystery and intrigue. Its purpose, though debated by historians, was deeply tied to the rigid and militaristic structure of Spartan life, where discipline and loyalty were paramount. The Krypteia is believed to have served as both a training ground and a tool of social control. Young Spartan men, selected for their physical prowess and loyalty, were sent into the countryside, often armed with nothing but a dagger. Their mission, to surveil and, if necessary, eliminate the Helots, the enslaved population that formed the backbone of Spartan agriculture. This brutal practice was not just a test of skill and endurance, but also a means of instilling fear and maintaining dominance over the Helots, who vastly outnumbered the Spartan elite. The Krypteia, in this sense, was a chilling reminder of the lengths to which Sparta would go to preserve its power. But the ethical implications of the Krypteia's actions are deeply troubling. While some argue that these practices were necessary for maintaining order in a society built on the subjugation of others, others see them as a stark example of the darker side of Spartan culture. The Krypteia's role in targeting the Helots raises questions about the morality of using violence as a means of control, even in a society as militaristic as Sparta. Were these young warriors merely pawns in a larger system of oppression, or did they willingly embrace their role as enforcers of Spartan supremacy? The answers remain elusive, adding to the mystique of this ancient institution. The Krypteia also offers a glimpse into the Spartan emphasis on secrecy and discipline. Unlike other Greek city-states, Sparta placed a premium on loyalty to the state above all else, and the Krypteia embodied this ideal. Its members operated in the shadows, their actions hidden from public view, reflecting the Spartan belief that strength lay not in openness but in the ability to act decisively and without hesitation. This culture of secrecy has made it difficult for historians to piece together a complete picture of the Krypteia's activities, leaving much to speculation and interpretation. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the Krypteia remains a compelling subject for historians and enthusiasts alike. It serves as a stark reminder of the complexities of Spartan society, where the ideals of courage and discipline coexisted with practices that many today would find abhorrent. The Krypteia's legacy is a testament to the dual nature of Sparta, a society that produced some of the most formidable warriors in history, yet also one that relied on fear and oppression to maintain its dominance. As we reflect on the shadowy practices of the Spartan Krypteia, we are reminded of the enduring allure of ancient mysteries. These enigmatic institutions challenge us to grapple with the ethical dilemmas of the past while offering valuable insights into the societies that shaped our world. And with this exploration of Sparta's hidden warriors, we now turn our attention to another great mystery of the ancient world, the lost treasures of the Library of Alexandria, a repository of knowledge whose destruction remains one of history's greatest tragedies. Now, as we shift our gaze from the shadowy practices of Sparta, we journey to the heart of one of the ancient world's greatest intellectual treasures, the Lost Library of Alexandria. This legendary institution, often hailed as the pinnacle of ancient knowledge, was more than just a repository of scrolls. It was a beacon of learning, a place where the greatest minds of the ancient world gathered to share ideas, debate philosophies, and push the boundaries of human understanding. Yet, its destruction remains one of history's most profound mysteries, leaving us to wonder what priceless works of literature, science, and philosophy were lost forever. The Library of Alexandria was founded in the 3rd century before the Common Era, during the reign of Ptolemy II in the bustling city of Alexandria, Egypt. It was part of a larger complex known as the Mycenaeans, or the Temple of the Muses, which served as a center for scholarship and research. The library's collection was unparalleled, housing hundreds of thousands of scrolls from across the known world. These texts covered every imaginable subject, from astronomy and mathematics to poetry and medicine. Scholars from Greece, Egypt, Persia, and beyond flocked to Alexandria to study, making it a melting pot of cultures and ideas. But how did such a monumental institution meet its end? The truth is, no one knows for certain. The destruction of the Library of Alexandria is shrouded in mystery, with multiple theories proposed over the centuries. One of the most widely cited accounts points to Julius Caesar's siege of Alexandria in 48 before the Common Era. According to this theory, a fire set by Caesar's forces to destroy enemy ships accidentally spread to the library, consuming its priceless collection. However, some historians argue that while this event may have damaged parts of the library, it did not lead to its complete destruction. Another theory suggests that the library fell victim to religious and political upheaval. In the 4th century of the Common Era, as Christianity gained prominence in the Roman Empire, pagan institutions like the library became targets. Some accounts claim that the library was destroyed by Christian mobs or by order of the Roman Emperor Theodosius I, who sought to suppress pagan practices. Yet, like the fire theory, this explanation remains debated, with no definitive evidence to confirm it. A third possibility is that the library's decline was gradual, the result of neglect, funding cuts, and the shifting priorities of Alexandria's rulers. Over time, its collection may have been dispersed, sold, or simply left to decay. Whatever the cause, the loss of the Library of Alexandria represents an incalculable blow to human knowledge. Countless works by ancient thinkers like Aristotle, Euclid, and Archimedes were likely lost, along with untold histories, scientific discoveries, and cultural treasures. The cultural impact of this loss cannot be overstated. The Library of Alexandria was not just a building filled with scrolls, it was a symbol of humanity's quest for knowledge and understanding. Its destruction serves as a poignant reminder of the fragility of knowledge and the importance of preserving it for future generations. Imagine what we might know today if the library had survived. How many breakthroughs in science, philosophy, and the arts might have been accelerated? How many lost voices from the ancient world might have been heard? As we reflect on the mystery of the Library of Alexandria, we are reminded of the enduring power of knowledge and the responsibility we have to protect it. The library's story is not just one of loss but also of inspiration, urging us to value and safeguard the wisdom of the past as we continue to explore the unknown. And with this exploration of Alexandria's lost treasures, we now turn to another enigmatic chapter of ancient history, the mystery of the Oracle of Dodona, a lesser-known but equally fascinating oracle that played a crucial role in the spiritual life of ancient Greece. Now, as we step into the realm of divine whispers and sacred groves, we uncover the mystery of the Oracle of Dodona, a lesser-known but deeply significant oracle dedicated to Zeus, the king of the gods. Nestled in the rugged mountains of Epirus in northwestern Greece, Dodona was one of the oldest oracular sites in the ancient world, predating even the famous Oracle of Delphi. Yet, despite its historical importance, Dodona often remains in the shadow of its more renowned counterpart. So, what made this oracle unique, and why does it hold such a fascinating place in the tapestry of ancient Greek spirituality? At the heart of Dodona's mystique was its sacred oak tree, believed to be a direct conduit to Zeus himself. Unlike the elaborate rituals of Delphi, where the Pythia inhaled vapors to deliver prophecies, the oracle at Dodona relied on the rustling of the oak leaves and the cooing of doves to interpret the will of the gods. Priests and priestesses, known as the Seloi, would listen intently to these natural sounds, deciphering divine messages from the whispers of the wind. This connection to nature made Dodona's oracle deeply rooted in the ancient Greek worldview, where the natural and the divine were inextricably linked. The rituals at Dodona were both simple and profound. Visitors seeking guidance would inscribe their questions on lead tablets, which have been discovered by archaeologists in modern times. These tablets reveal a wide range of inquiries, from personal matters like marriage and health to political and military concerns. The oracle's responses, though often cryptic, were highly respected, and its influence extended far beyond the borders of Epirus. Kings, generals, and ordinary citizens alike made the journey to Dodona, seeking wisdom from Zeus himself. Despite its significance, Dodona never achieved the same level of fame as Delphi. One reason for this may be its remote location, far from the political and cultural centers of ancient Greece. Delphi, by contrast, was centrally located and became a hub for religious and political activity. Additionally, the oracle at Delphi was closely tied to the god Apollo, whose association with reason, prophecy, and the arts resonated deeply with Greek society. Dodona, with its focus on Zeus and its more rustic rituals, may have seemed less accessible or sophisticated to some. Yet, the mystery of Dodona lies not just in its rituals but in its enduring legacy. The oracle's sacred oak tree became a symbol of divine communication, and its influence can be seen in later religious traditions. Some scholars even suggest that Dodona's practices may have inspired elements of early Christian worship. The site's archaeological remains, including the theater and the temple of Zeus, offer glimpses into its former glory, but much about Dodona remains shrouded in mystery. Why did its influence wane over time? What secrets might still lie buried beneath its ancient soil? As we reflect on the Oracle of Dodona, we are reminded of the rich diversity of ancient Greek spirituality. While Delphi may have captured the imagination of the ancient world, Dodona offers a quieter, more intimate connection to the divine. Its story invites us to consider the many ways in which humans have sought to understand the will of the gods, from the rustling of leaves to the whispers of the wind. And with this exploration of Dodona's sacred mysteries, we now turn to another enigmatic chapter of ancient history, the Enigma of Greek fire, a secret weapon that changed the course of warfare in the ancient world. Now, as we shift our gaze from the sacred whispers of Dodona to the fiery battlefields of the ancient world, we encounter one of history's most enigmatic weapons, Greek fire. This mysterious substance, often attributed to the ingenuity of the Byzantine Empire, was a game-changer in warfare, striking fear into the hearts of enemies and altering the course of countless battles. But what exactly was Greek fire, and why does its formula remain one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of antiquity? Greek fire was a highly flammable liquid that could burn even on water, making it a devastating weapon in naval warfare. Its exact composition remains unknown, but historians believe it may have included ingredients like petroleum, quicklime, and sulfur, combined in a way that created a sticky, incendiary substance. When deployed, it was often sprayed or launched from tubes or siphons, engulfing enemy ships in flames that were nearly impossible to extinguish. The psychological impact of Greek fire was as powerful as its physical destruction, as it seemed almost supernatural to those who witnessed its terrifying effects. The origins of Greek fire are often traced back to the 7th century, during the reign of the Byzantine Emperor Constantine IV. It is said that a Syrian engineer named Kallinikos developed the formula and presented it to the emperor as a means of defending Constantinople against Arab naval attacks. The weapon proved so effective that it became a closely guarded state secret, with only a select few entrusted with its production and use. This secrecy was so strict that even today, centuries later, the exact recipe for Greek fire has never been uncovered. The use of Greek fire was not limited to naval battles. It was also employed in sieges and land warfare, where its ability to ignite and spread rapidly made it a formidable tool. However, its most famous application was in defending Constantinople during the Arab sieges of the 7th and 8th centuries. The Byzantines' ability to repel invaders with this fearsome weapon not only saved their empire but also cemented Greek fire's reputation as a symbol of Byzantine military ingenuity. Yet, despite its effectiveness, the formula for Greek fire was eventually lost to history. Some speculate that the knowledge died with those who guarded it, while others believe it was deliberately destroyed to prevent it from falling into enemy hands. Whatever the reason, the disappearance of Greek fire has left historians and scientists alike puzzled. Modern attempts to recreate it have yielded only partial success, as the exact combination of ingredients and the method of deployment remain elusive. The enigma of Greek fire is a testament to the ingenuity and resourcefulness of ancient civilizations. It reminds us of the lengths to which humans have gone to gain an edge in conflict, as well as the fragility of knowledge over time. As we ponder the mysteries of this ancient weapon, we are left to wonder what other secrets of the past have been lost, waiting to be rediscovered. And with this fiery mystery still burning in our minds, we now turn to another forgotten chapter of ancient Greece, the discovery of the lost city of Tenya, a place shrouded in myth and history. Now, as we step away from the fiery enigma of Greek fire, our journey takes us to the rediscovery of a city long thought to be lost to myth and time, Tenya. This ancient settlement, believed to have been founded by Trojan prisoners of war after the fall of Troy, has long been shrouded in legend, but recent archaeological breakthroughs have brought Tenya back into the light, offering a fascinating glimpse into its history and the lives of its inhabitants. Tenya's origins are steeped in the aftermath of the Trojan War. According to ancient accounts, the city was established by Trojan captives who were brought to the Peloponnese by the victorious Greeks. These prisoners were said to have been granted land to build their own city, which they named Tenya in honor of their homeland. For centuries, Tenya thrived as a prosperous and independent settlement, maintaining strong cultural ties to its Trojan roots. Yet, despite its prominence in ancient texts, the physical location of Tenya remained a mystery for thousands of years. That all changed in recent years when archaeologists uncovered the remains of Tenya near the modern village of Chiliomodi in southern Greece. The discovery was nothing short of groundbreaking. Excavations revealed a wealth of artifacts, including pottery, coins, and intricate jewelry, all pointing to a city of considerable wealth and sophistication. Among the most significant finds were the remains of houses, public buildings, and even a cemetery, providing a vivid picture of daily life in ancient Tenya. One of the most intriguing aspects of Tenya's rediscovery is the evidence of its unique cultural identity. The artifacts and architectural styles found at the site suggest a blend of Greek and Trojan influences, reflecting the city's dual heritage. This fusion of cultures is particularly evident in the burial practices uncovered at the cemetery, where grave goods and inscriptions reveal a community that proudly preserved its Trojan ancestry while integrating into the broader Greek world. But why did Tenya remain hidden for so long? Part of the answer lies in its strategic location. Situated between the powerful city-states of Corinth and Argos, Tenya managed to maintain its independence for centuries, even as neighboring powers rose and fell. However, this same location may have also contributed to its eventual decline. As regional power dynamics shifted, Tenya likely faded into obscurity, its memory preserved only in scattered references in ancient texts. The rediscovery of Tenya is more than just an archaeological triumph. It's a window into a forgotten chapter of ancient history. It reminds us that even the most enduring legends can have a basis in reality, waiting to be uncovered by those who seek the truth. As we marvel at the artifacts and stories unearthed from Tenya's ruins, we are left to wonder, what other lost cities and forgotten tales are still waiting to be discovered? And with this newfound mystery fresh in our minds, we now turn to another enigmatic aspect of ancient Greece, the sacred caves of the nymphs, where nature and mythology intertwine in fascinating ways. Now, as we step into the realm of myth and nature, we uncover the enchanting secrets of the nymphs' caves. These sacred spaces, deeply woven into the fabric of ancient Greek spirituality, were believed to be the dwelling places of nymphs, ethereal beings who personified the beauty and power of the natural world. For the ancient Greeks, nymphs were more than just mythical figures. They were guardians of springs, rivers, forests, and mountains, embodying the life-giving forces of the earth itself. The caves dedicated to these nymphs were not merely physical locations but spiritual sanctuaries. Often hidden in remote, lush landscapes, these caves were seen as gateways to the divine. Rituals performed within them were deeply tied to the cycles of nature, reflecting the Greeks' reverence for the environment. Offerings of flowers, honey, and wine were common, as were dances and songs meant to honor the nymphs and seek their favor. These ceremonies were not just acts of worship but also ways to connect with the natural world, acknowledging its power and mystery. One of the most fascinating aspects of these caves is their connection to water. Many nymph caves were located near springs or underground streams, symbolizing the life-giving and purifying qualities of water. The Greeks believed that these waters held healing properties, and pilgrims would often visit the caves to bathe or drink from the springs, hoping to receive the nymphs' blessings. This intertwining of water, caves, and divine presence created a powerful spiritual experience, blending the physical and the mystical in a way that resonated deeply with ancient Greek culture. Yet, despite their significance, much about the nymphs' caves remains shrouded in mystery. The rituals performed within them were often secretive, passed down through oral traditions and known only to initiates. This secrecy has left modern historians and archaeologists with tantalizing fragments of information, piecing together clues from ancient texts, inscriptions, and the physical remains of the caves themselves. What we do know is that these spaces were central to the spiritual lives of many Greeks, offering a direct connection to the divine forces of nature. The worship of nymphs also highlights the ancient Greeks' profound respect for the natural world. Unlike the grand temples of the gods, nymph caves were often simple, unadorned spaces, emphasizing the raw beauty and power of the earth. This contrast reflects a broader cultural understanding that divinity could be found not only in human-made structures, but also in the untouched landscapes that surrounded them. As we explore the mysteries of the nymphs' caves, we are reminded of the enduring human desire to connect with something greater than ourselves. These sacred spaces, with their blend of myth, nature, and ritual, offer a glimpse into a world where the boundaries between the physical and the spiritual were fluid and ever-shifting. And with this sense of wonder still lingering, we now turn to another captivating mystery of ancient Greece, the lost epics of Homer, where the echoes of forgotten tales await rediscovery. Now, as we shift our gaze from the sacred caves of the nymphs, we find ourselves standing at the edge of another profound mystery, the lost epics of Homer. While the Iliad and the Odyssey have long been celebrated as masterpieces of ancient Greek literature, they are only a fraction of the stories attributed to this legendary poet. Beyond these two iconic works, there lies a treasure trove of lost epics tales that once captivated audiences but have since vanished into the shadows of history. Homer's lost epics are believed to have been part of a larger collection known as the Epic Cycle, a series of poems that together told the entire story of the Trojan War and its aftermath. These works included titles like the Cypria, the Aethiopes, and the Little Iliad, each offering a unique perspective on the heroes, gods, and events of this legendary conflict. For instance, the Cypria is thought to have detailed the events leading up to the Trojan War, while the Aethiopes may have explored the exploits of the Ethiopian prince Memnon, a key ally of the Trojans. These epics were not just standalone stories but interconnected threads in a grand narrative tapestry, enriching the world of Greek mythology with their depth and complexity. So, why were these epics lost? The answer lies in the fragile nature of ancient texts. Unlike the Iliad and the Odyssey, which were meticulously preserved and recited by generations of bards, many of Homer's other works were not as widely circulated. Over time, as the focus shifted to the two surviving epics, the others gradually fell out of favor. Natural disasters, wars, and the passage of time further contributed to their disappearance. By the time scholars in later centuries began to compile and study ancient texts, much of the epic cycle had already been lost, leaving behind only fragments and references in other works. The impact of these lost epics on Greek literature cannot be overstated. They provided the foundation for countless myths, plays, and poems, shaping the cultural imagination of ancient Greece. Even in their absence, their influence can be felt in the works of later writers like Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides, who drew inspiration from the stories and characters of the epic cycle. The loss of these epics is not just a gap in our understanding of Homer's legacy, but a missing piece of the puzzle that is ancient Greek storytelling. What might these lost epics have contained? Scholars have pieced together clues from surviving fragments and references, offering tantalizing glimpses into their content. For example, the Little Iliad is believed to have included the story of the Trojan horse, while the Nostoi, or Returns, may have detailed the perilous journeys of Greek heroes as they attempted to return home after the war. These stories, though lost, continue to spark the imagination, inviting us to wonder about the full scope of Homer's genius. As we reflect on the mystery of Homer's lost epics, we are reminded of the fragility of human knowledge and the importance of preserving our cultural heritage. These forgotten tales, though no longer with us, remain a testament to the enduring power of storytelling and its ability to connect us across time and space. And with this thought in mind, we now turn to the final mystery of our journey, the enigmatic Greek Dark Ages, a period that holds the key to understanding the rise of classical Greece. Now, as we step into the shadows of history, we encounter one of the most enigmatic periods of ancient Greece, the Greek Dark Ages. This era, spanning roughly from the collapse of the Mycenaean civilization around 1200 BC to the emergence of classical Greece in the 8th century BC, remains one of the most mysterious chapters in Greek history. Unlike the grandeur of the Mycenaean palaces or the cultural flourishing of classical Greece, the Dark Ages are marked by a striking absence of written records, monumental architecture, and significant artistic achievements. It is as if the light of civilization flickered and dimmed, leaving behind a void that historians and archaeologists have struggled to illuminate. The fall of the Mycenaeans, a civilization known for its impressive citadels like Mycenae and Tiryns, is often attributed to a combination of factors, including invasions, natural disasters, and internal strife. Whatever the cause, the collapse plunged Greece into a period of decline. Cities were abandoned, trade networks disintegrated, and the art of writing, as represented by Linear B, was lost. For centuries, Greece entered a phase of isolation and stagnation, with small, scattered communities replacing the once thriving Mycenaean centers. This lack of centralized power and cultural continuity has led historians to refer to this time as the Dark Ages, a term that underscores the scarcity of information and the perceived backwardness of the period. Yet the Greek Dark Ages were not entirely devoid of significance. This era laid the groundwork for the cultural and political transformations that would later define classical Greece. One of the most intriguing theories about this period suggests that it was a time of experimentation and adaptation. The absence of a dominant power allowed local communities to develop their own traditions and social structures, which eventually coalesced into the city-states or polis that became the hallmark of Greek civilization. The seeds of democracy, philosophy, and artistic innovation were sown during these centuries, even if they would not fully bloom until later. Archaeological evidence, though limited, offers glimpses into life during the Dark Ages. Simple pottery, known as proto-geometric and geometric ware, began to emerge, showcasing the early stages of Greek artistic expression. These artifacts, though modest compared to the elaborate frescoes and goldwork of the Mycenaeans, reveal a society gradually rediscovering its creative potential. Additionally, the oral traditions of storytelling, which would later give rise to the epic poems of Homer, likely took root during this time. The Iliad and the Odyssey, though composed centuries later, may have preserved echoes of the Dark Ages, offering a window into the values and struggles of this shadowy period. The transition from the Dark Ages to the Archaic period, around the 8th century BC, marked the dawn of a new era for Greece. The reintroduction of writing, this time in the form of the Greek alphabet borrowed from the Phoenicians, revolutionized communication and record-keeping. The rise of the city-states, the colonization of the Mediterranean, and the flourishing of art and literature all signaled the end of the Dark Ages and the beginning of Greece's Golden Age. Yet the mysteries of this transitional period continue to captivate scholars. What caused the Mycenaean collapse? How did Greek society reorganize itself during the Dark Ages? And what role did this era play in shaping the cultural achievements of classical Greece? As we reflect on the enigma of the Greek Dark Ages, we are reminded that even in times of darkness, the seeds of future greatness can take root. This period, though shrouded in mystery, was a crucible of transformation, setting the stage for the extraordinary achievements that would follow. And with this understanding, we conclude our journey through the forgotten mysteries of ancient Greece. each one a testament to the enduring allure of the past and the timeless questions it continues to inspire. As we bring our journey through the forgotten mysteries of ancient Greece to a close, it's impossible not to marvel at the sheer depth of intrigue these ancient secrets hold. From the lost city of Helike, swallowed by the sea, to the enigmatic Antikythera Mechanism, a marvel of ancient engineering, each mystery offers a tantalizing glimpse into a world that continues to captivate us. The Oracle of Delphi's prophetic whispers, the Labyrinth of the Minotaur, and the undeciphered symbols of the Phaistos Disc. These are not just relics of the past, but windows into the ingenuity, spirituality, and complexity of a civilization that shaped the course of history. These mysteries remind us that the past is never truly lost. It lingers in the artifacts we uncover, the stories we tell, and the questions we continue to ask. They challenge us to look beyond the surface, to piece together fragments of history, and to appreciate the enduring legacy of ancient Greece. Whether it's the sudden disappearance of the Minoans, the elusive tomb of Alexander the Great, or the sacred rituals of the Eleusinian Mysteries, each mystery invites us to explore, to wonder, and to connect with the humanity of those who came before us. But the story doesn't end here. These mysteries are not just puzzles to be solved, they are reminders of the importance of preserving our shared heritage. Every artifact, every ruin, every ancient text is a piece of a larger puzzle, one that helps us understand who we are and where we come from. By studying these forgotten secrets, we honor the past and ensure that its lessons and wonders are not lost to time. Now we turn to you. Which of these mysteries fascinates you the most? Is it the advanced technology of the Antikythera Mechanism, the haunting legend of the Minotaur, or perhaps the enigmatic collapse of the Mycenaeans? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear which ancient mystery sparks your curiosity. And if you've enjoyed this journey through the forgotten secrets of ancient Greece, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more explorations into the fascinating world of history. Together, let's keep uncovering the stories that connect us to the past and inspire the future.